The OKC Thunder defeated the Denver Nuggets 112 to 105 in game 5 of their second round matchup. Now OKC goes up 3 to 2. And I have to say this loss hurts. It hurts real bad if you're a Nuggets fan. Heck, I'm not a Nuggets fan and this loss hurts simply because I like watching Jokic play, and I think now, because they lost this game, that Denver will lose this series. I don't see them winning two more games against OKC. And I'd say it's a damn shame because Jokic played his heart out tonight. He had 44 points on 17 of 25 shooting, which is 68% shooting from the field. He had 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He did it all. He really tried to assert his will in this game and dominate this game. The problem was that the rest of his team didn't show up when it really mattered in the fourth quarter. No one else came to play in the pressure situations. To me, that was very infuriating. And the thing that was so damning about this game was that Denver dominated the offensive rebounds. They got 16 offensive rebounds compared to OKC's 8. But I feel like all of OKC's 8 offensive rebounds are timely because they scored second chance points off of all those rebounds, I believe. It was ridiculous. And I felt that was one of the huge reasons they were able to win this game was they got these timely offensive rebounds and they were able to score off of them when it really mattered. The other thing I think that was so huge about OKC was their defensive stops they got. They would go on stretches where they would hold the Nuggets scoreless. Like, for example, there was a stretch in the fourth quarter where they held the Nuggets without a field goal attempt. I think, no, a field goal make for like 3 minutes. You can't have that in the fourth quarter, especially if you're the Nuggets. But they couldn't overcome OKC's stifling defense. Whenever they turned it up a notch, the Nuggets would go on these scoring droughts. Outside of Jokic, no one could get easy buckets in this game, which was very frustrating that the rest of the team just struggled, and that's a large part due to OKC's great defense. They held the Nuggets to 41.2% shooting for the game and 28.3% from 3. While they shot 50% and 41 from 3. So when you shoot that well, you usually win the game. The reason why this game was close was just because of Jokic's heroics and Denver crashing the boards throughout the game. But that's the only reason why it was close. There was the stretch in this game that was very telling. I think was the final few minutes of this game where it was tied 103 to 103, and then the Nuggets just couldn't score for the next few minutes. And the OKC went on a ridiculous run where I think Jalen Williams hit a 3. That put them up 106 to 103. And then SGA hit a 3. That's 109 to 103. And then I think Jalen Williams might have scored a bucket, and they ended up going up 111 to 103. And they ultimately won this game 112 to 105. But that was pretty much the ball game right there, that final stretch in the last few minutes. But I would also say in the fourth quarter, it looked like they were going to lose this game, but Lou Dort was really huge. I think he had a stretch where he hit like 2 consecutive threes in a row, which brought them back in the game. They were down 90 to 81. He hits a 3. Then it's 90 to 84. And then I believe he hits another 3, a minute or two later, which slices the lead down to 92 to 87. And after that, just OKC went on a run and they got back in the game, and he hit another 3 in that run. So he hit like 3 threes in that run, which eventually pulled them to being down only by 2. But to me, he was like the underrated player of the game that really saved OKC's season. I think those 3 3-pointers he hit in the third quarter were just so huge. They were big, just ridiculously big. So they really should be thanking Lou Dort tonight for hitting those 3 threes in those few minutes, because if he didn't hit those 3 threes, I think the Nuggets would have won this game by like 10 or 12 points. But once he hit those three threes, it brought them back in the game. And they never really looked back after that. It went back and forth, and then they had another defensive stretch where they just shut down the Nuggets. Now, if you're Denver, I don't know how you bounce back from this, to be honest. I look at just the rest of the team outside of Aaron Gordon and Jokic, everyone else played like dog shit. Michael Porter was 1 of 7. Jamal Murray shot 10 of 27. He started off the game strong and then he cooled off in the fourth quarter, which is troubling. Christian Braun, it was garbage. 3 of 12, 2 of 8 from three. To me, it's very frustrating when this guy's wide open and he can't even hit damn 3-pointers. He missed a corner three, which I thought would have been big in the fourth quarter. He just bricked it. And then you just had the Nuggets putrid bench of Peyton Watson getting 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting. Russell Westbrook lived up to the nickname Westbrick by shooting 1 of 7. He had 4 points. And Julian Struthers, he didn't shoot poorly, but 1 of 2, 3 points. So that shows you that the bench is trash. Whereas the Thunder's bench was big in this game. The Thunder's bench had like 22 points versus the Nuggets bench, which had 10. So they got beat in that department. Now, how can the Nuggets bounce back from this? I don't know. This is like 2 games in a row where they just couldn't finish off OKC when they were up by like 7 to 10 points and OKC just came back. I think OKC has figured them out. They've figured out how to put together defensive stretches where they can just shut them down completely and choke them out. And now I just think they're very confident that they've done this 2 times in a row and they survived Jokic's onslaught. So I definitely believe OKC is going to win this series. It really sucks. I like Jokic. Sucks I won't get to see him play beyond this round. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. So that's all I had to say.